Hey guys, welcome to growkidsminds.com. Today we're going to talk about challenges and how we teach our kids that no one's perfect and that is really okay. All right, so first of all, sorry about the light. I am sitting on the floor in a hotel room trying to get some light from the window, but it's dwindling. So that's okay. That's just a challenge. And what have I done? I've put a light on. I've sat right next to the window on the floor. So this is doing these sorts of things is how we teach our kids to overcome those sorts of challenges. You know, I'm not perfect. My hair's not perfect. I'm sitting on the floor. I'm not at a desk. The background's not all beautiful and exciting. It's okay though. You know, we don't need to be perfect all of the time. What's most important is the person that we are. So that's kind of what we're talking about today. And one thing that really can get kids down is when they start comparing themselves to other children. We see that a lot. Such and such can run faster than me. They're taller than me. They're able to do that really easily and I can't do that yet. There's so many, there's endless, countless things that we could go through that comes up. And I'm sure with your children that you know exactly what I'm talking about, where they start comparing themselves to another child and they feel like they're not quite good enough. And even the kids that are really good at a lot of things will go through that. So what do we do when we have our kids hit those sorts of bumps in the road? How do we help them to understand that it's okay that not everyone's the same and not everyone's perfect? What do we do about it? So when I'm talking to the kids, I normally talk about how different people have different abilities. So when we're born, we might be born with a natural talent to be able to do something. It might be running, it might be maths, it might be art, it could be music, it might be caring for other people. It could be anything, but we're all born with some kind of natural talent towards something. And then other people won't have that natural talent, but their natural talents may be in something else. Or will be in something else. And that's what makes us human, is to have different talents in things. The one thing I do also encourage for them to understand is that while I might not have a natural talent in being able to run fast, I've got short legs. I'm low to the ground. Each stride of someone taller than me is going to be twice my stride. I'm pretty stocky, so I'm solid. I don't fly along like other people. So running is not a natural talent for me. However, if I want to get good at running, I can, and I will, because that's my mindset. But it's the same with kids. If you don't have to have the natural talent to be good at something, but you will have to work harder to get there. So it's not that you can't do it and that's it, that's the end, because you're not able to initially. It's that you need to be able to, like anything, when we're born, we can't walk, and we don't all stand up and walk at 10 months old. Each person's different. Some kids will walk at 8 or 9 months. Other kids might take until 18 months. You know, I think one of the kids was 19 months even before they started walking. They're not going to be lying around on the floor, flopping around waiting for me to pick them up at 15. So I know it's going to happen, but they need to do the work to get there. So when I'm talking with the kids about being different, I always make sure I talk to them about people are born with natural talent and that's okay. B, you can be talented at something, but if it's not a natural talent, you're going to have to work at it and you're going to need to improve. Each day, your focus needs to be on a little improvement, getting a little bit better, or each week, maybe not each day, it can be unrealistic sometimes. And when we fail at something, when we're not as good as somebody else at something, it helps us to learn. So we can use that opportunity to look at that and go, okay, what can I do better next time? And eventually you get better and better and better. And the more we practice, the more talent, the more we're able to do something. And sometimes you'll find the people that have that natural talent early on, because they don't learn to get better and improve and to get better and improve, or they don't put any effort into improving, the kids or the people that don't have that natural talent initially but put the work in will surpass the people that have the natural talent. And that's okay too, because their natural talent doesn't mean that they're interested in that thing, it just means they're good at it. So there is no perfection. There's only progress. And I make sure the kids always understand that there's no perfect person. There might be a perfect person for you, but they're not going to be perfect all the time either. But they're going to progress, and they're going to be better if they work on it and they improve. If we're talking about being perfect, and there's a television show on at the moment, and every other sentence for one of the people on there is, oh, it's perfect. Oh, it's perfect. So I said, well, there's no real perfection. And even within that show, there's multiple people that are experiencing what they're talking about is perfect, and their interpretation is going to be different. So nothing's ever going to be perfect across the board. And it's really important for our kids to understand there is no perfect. What's more important is that we progress. And rather than comparing ourselves to other people, we need to stop and compare ourselves to ourselves. Compare our capability to our future capability. So just a quick example of that. One of the kids, he came last in his first ever running race. We did no running. We lived in an apartment for a long period of time. It's cold where we lived. He wasn't allowed outside. He did no activity really, like nothing really along those lines. Certainly wasn't involved in any sports or anything at that stage. And he went his first running race at school and came last. And I'm dancing around like, woohoo! And he's like, Mum, I came last. What are you? Like, oh, Mum. Yeah. But he was a bit little, so he let me get away with it. And I said, you know what? You finished. So let's celebrate the fact that you finished. You didn't stop. You didn't slow down. You did the whole thing. So what if you came last? You finished. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, I finished. Woohoo! And so then the next thing was like, okay, so if you are worried about coming last, then what do we do next year? Oh, I'm going to just try and beat one person next year. Okay, cool. Let's do that. I said, and the other thing we could look at rather than maybe beating one person might be, well, what if I can do it faster next year? So we'll look at what time you got this year, and then we'll see if next year when you come to do the same race, you can go faster. And so now we're, 3 or 4 years into that particular race happening every year. And each year he sets 2 goals. One is to beat another person, but that's a variable. So I always give him the thing that's stationary to improve on as well, because obviously the other kids grow and improve as well as they're going through. So he'll want to beat a certain number of people, but we also focus on the time. What was the time? What was the distance? Am I running further? Am I running faster? Those sorts of things. And that way you can get a true indication of whether you are improving or not. And that's what's really important, is whether you're getting better. So that's it for me today. To help your kids to understand challenges and to get over it, just make sure they focus on the fact that no one's perfect. Everyone has natural talent in something, but it doesn't mean that if you don't have a natural talent that you can't be as good at it, if not better, than people that are naturally talented if you put the work and effort in. All right, and focus on small improvements each time. So that's it from me today. Lisa at growkidsminds.com. If you have any questions, you can hit us up on social media or by email, and we'll see you next week.